So the first thing I learned
So the first things I learned
when I went to the monastery
when I went to the monastery
was to learn
was to learn
how
the mind works.
Because once you know
Because once you know
how the mind
how the mind works,
you can control it.
Once you can
Control it.
how the mind works. Because once you know how the mind works, you can control
You can control it.
it. Once you can control
You can control it, and once you can control it,
you can focus.
you can focus it.
You can't focus
You can't focus or
to
concentrate something
you don't understand.
you don't understand. เพชรพันนี the Hindu priest that will change your life.
When people say to me,
When people say to me,
life is too busy,
life is too busy to be this, and I can't simplify.
No, it's you don't want.
No, it's you don't want to.
You have the choice.
You have the choice.
Nobody's holding
Nobody is holding
a gun to your
a
head,
gun to your head saying
you have to associate with
you have to associate
these people.
with these people,
You have to do these
or you have to do these things.
No,
you choose to do
choose
them.
to do them. People say
You
that
choose to do them. People say this
to me all the time.
and all the time
I hang around with
I hang around
entrepreneurs,
entrepreneurs,
other people that
and other people that
you and I have met.
you and I have met.
They've come up with Snap.
They will come up with Snapchat.
You need to be on Snap.
You need to be on Snapchat.
I'm like, I don't need
I'm like,
to be on Snap.
I don't need to be on Snapchat.
I don't care what comes up.
I don't care what comes up.
Tomorrow, I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Because I can't say.
Because I can't sustain it.
Right?
Sustain it.
That's going to take
That's going to take a little
bit more of
my energy today.
And I only have this much.
And I only have this
energy, and I need
much energy, and I need
to divide
it
between all the people,
between all
the things that I love.
The people and the things that I love.
My law of
The law of thermos.
Dynamic states.
You cannot create. That you cannot create.
Or destroy energy.
But
you can transfer it from.
But you can transfer
one thing to another.
It's from one thing to another.
Or transform it.
From one thing to another.
So I can't create more energy.
I only have this more energy. I only have this much.
Because come 11 o'clock.
Because at 11 o'clock.
Tonight,
I'll be exhausted.
Ready to sleep.
And ready.
So I can't create more energy. I only have.
So I can't create more energy.
This much.
I only have this much. Because at 11 o'clock
tonight, I'll be exhausted.
I'm ready to sleep.
So I got this much.
100%.
I need to know where
I'm dividing.
I always tell
entrepreneurs to look at energy the same way they look at money.
It's a finite resource.
It's a finite resource that needs
to be wisely
managed,
wisely
reallocated, and wisely invested.
The average person sleeps
The average person sleeps
about
7 to 8 hours.
To say roughly.
To say roughly.
So we're awake for about 16.
So we're awake for about 16 hours of the day.
Let's just say
let's say on average we're practicing 13 hours a day,
7 days a week.
7 days a week. Distractions.
And then you wonder what.
And then you wonder why
you're so good at
you are so good at it. That's the law of practice.
The law of practice.
The law of practice is that we'll become good.
Is that we become good.
Become good.
At whatever it is.
At whatever it is.
We practice.
We practice.
Whether it's positive.
Whether it's positive
or negative.
Or negative.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If you practice.
If you practice something
over.
If you practice something over and
over and over.
Over and over and over again.
Again, you become
really good at it.
And that's why people are so good at distraction. Practice something over and over and over again. You become really good at it. And that's why people are so good at distraction. Because it's
what they practice.
And then people say.
Things like technology are great distractors.
Right.
Right.
Smartphones. Oh, I have this thing.
Or I have these things. So distracting
my
smartphone.
The
internet.
Are they distracted?
Are they distractors?
I like to say
no first. I like to say no first.
And then yes. But mostly no. Technology in itself is not a bad.
It's not. Technology in itself is not a bad thing.
It's actually
a bad thing. It's actually a beautiful thing. Beautiful things as long as we're in charge of it.
But if
every time your iPhone
beeps or makes a sound and
or makes a sound or makes sound, you turn to it
and you go, yes, master.
Yes, master.
How can I serve you today? Then you live in that world
of distraction. It's training
you
to be distracted.
But if you
actually
use technology, then
technology is not a bad thing. Then technology is not a bad thing. So how do we become good at
concentrating? We start by understanding
the mind.
Right.
All of
us have a mind. It's the most powerful.
It's the most powerful
tool in the world.
The
smartphone.
It built the smartphone. It's put
machines that drive itself
on
Mars. So the first thing I learned
things I learned
When I went to the monastery,
when I went to the monastery,
it was to learn
how the mind works.
Because once you know how the mind works,
because the mind works, because once you know how the mind works, you can control it.
And once
you can control it, and once you can
control it,
you can focus it. You can't focus or concentrate something. Concentrate something you don't understand.
So how does
the mind work? From the monk's perspective, from the monk's experience of the mind, there are two things that you need to understand.
One is
the awareness,
and one is the mind.
And one is mind.
So I'll take a few moments.
So I'll take a few moments to explain this to you and share. So imagine awareness.
This is a
glowing ball of light.
Like a
glowing ball of light.
Orb.
Light. Like an orb
that can float around.
Okay,
so that's awareness.
Okay, so that
Now imagine your mind as a
vast space. A vast area
many different sections within
it.
One area of the mind is
anger,
jealousy,
food, sex, happiness,
joy,
science, art.
And this glowing
ball of awareness can travel within the mind, and it can go to any area of the mind it wants to go to.
And when it goes to
a particular area, it lights up that area. When it lights up that area of the mind, you become conscious of it.
And this
is what happens all day. We allow people
and things around
us to take our awareness
from one area
of the mind to another all day long.
From the time we wake
up,
and therefore we become distracted. To be concentrated
is to be able to
keep your
awareness
on
one thing
for an extended period of time. How do we practice this? We practice this
by doing
one thing
at a time
throughout the day. What's the best way to
develop
concentration?
The best way to develop
concentration is
to
bring that
practice
into
our everyday life.
Look at
opportunities throughout the day.
In your average day,
ask yourself,
a great opportunity.
What's a great opportunity to practice
How many of you have a
concentration?
spouse,
How many of you have a
a partner
spouse,
that you live with?
a spouse, a partner?
Quite a few.
Quite a few of you.
Every time you
speak with your spouse
also your partner,
or your partner,
keep
that ball of
light,
that awareness on that person.
It drifts away.
It drifts away.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
It drifts away. Bring it.
It drifts away. Bring it back.
The more you practice
this,
the more
you become better at concentration.
Give her or him your undivided
attention.
So if you speak to your spouse,
our stop
for 2 hours a day. What a great opportunity
to practice concentration.
Every time you
speak with the child, practice concentration.
Parents come up to me all the time and say, Tandapani,
how can I teach my children to concentrate?
Very easy. You
learn to concentrate first.
There's an old saying that
goes monkeys do.
You know. And if you can't concentrate, you can't expect your child to concentrate. And if you don't teach your children how to concentrate, how can they possibly learn how to concentrate? They can't. The benefits of concentration are endless. When you're able to concentrate, you're able to focus. You're able to focus on all your energy into a single given point. Life is a manifestation of where your energy is flowing. And if you can't concentrate your energy, the thing that you want to manifest in your life, life becomes very challenging. So learn to concentrate by doing one thing at a time. Bring this practice into everything that you do throughout. Everything that we do throughout the day. Make it a part of your life. Practice. Keep bringing awareness back. And keep it focused. And keep it focused on one thing at a time.